Hello everyone, my name is Adam Kopelman. I am the Pro Sony Specialist for the B2B department at B&H Photo and Video. Today I'm going to give you a quick overview of Sony's cinema line, minus the Venice. You have to go visit our studio in the B&H Superstore to get your hands on the Venice. Starting off, we have the FX30. This is a Super 35mm cinema camera with Sony's color space, the S Cinetone, which is across the entire cinema line up to the Venice. So here you have a 10 to 20mm power zoom lens on the FX30. It's $1,800 for the body. The top handle is optional. Next we have the FX3. It's the same exact body as the FX30, but it has a full frame sensor. Showing it with the Anton Bauer Titan base. It has nice 4 P-taps or D-taps with 3 D-taps and a USB output and a timer, so it tells you exactly how much power is left. This is great if you're using an external monitor and or a light, so you can power the whole package with one battery and it should last you a bunch of hours, usually most of the day. Also use a Sound Devices Mix Pre 3. And this lens is a 16 to 35mm power zoom f4. And what's great about the FX30 and the FX3 is they do have zoom rockers on the body itself right here. So if you have a power zoom lens, you can zoom the lens from the body. One thing that I wanted to mention is some of the professional features that you can get in the FX30 and the FX3, one of them being time code input. Sony just came out with a time code adapter that will plug into the multi-function port, and then you can actually use other time code generators and sync up time code with multiple cameras with their new time code adapter. Next up, we have the Sony FX6. This is one of the most popular cameras Sony has out right now. Just flip this over. Whoop. This is a full frame cinema camera. It has a variable neutral density filter, so you can use it presets or variable. Yet a neutral density filter also has an automatic setting, so you can do indoor to outdoor shots without changing your shutter speed, aperture, or ISO, and it will just ramp up and down the exposure what's needed. I also recommend it if you're doing man on the street interviews on a partly cloudy day. So if the cloud blocks the sun, the exposure will change without having to change any of your settings. This is another 16 to 35mm lens. This is a T3.1 T-stops on this lens for cinema, and it is power zoom as well. Next up is the FX9. This is the step up from the FX6. What really sets this camera apart, it has a 6K sensor. The information recorded or captured in 6K is immediately downsampled to 4K and then recorded in 4K and output. There is no way to record or output 6K, but the image is sharper because it is captured in 6K and then downsampled immediately. So the FX9 has 4 audio potentiometers or dials right here. So with the XLR adapter on the MI shoe on top, you can have 4 XLR audio sources and control them all right here. Where the FX6 can still record 4 audio channels, but you only have 2 dials, so you need to control your second 2 audio sources through the menu. The FX9 also features a locking lens mount, which allows you to put on heavier lenses without the need of a lens support. It's a much more robust lens collar system. The FX9 also features an accessory called the XDCA-FX9, which goes on the back and will allow you to put in a dual channel slot-in audio receiver, a V-mount battery, raw output, as well as some gen lock and timecode inputs. The FX9 does feature 2 SDIs and timecode in and out and gen lock on the camera itself. It obviously has the neutral density filter, same as the FX6. The other thing you can do with it is use a LA-EB1 lens adapter from E-mount to B4, so you could put on and it has power included, so you can use your Canon and Fujinon E&G lenses. So when you pair that with the XDCA on the back, that turns the FX9 into a full-fledged E&G camera. So moving up from the FX30 and the FX3, which do not have shutter angle, You can get that 180-degree roll with your FX6 and your FX9. The 180, if you're using shutter angle, it's basically double your frame rate. So if you're shooting at 60p, it automatically puts you at 1/120th. And if you're shooting at 24p, it automatically puts you at basically 1/150th of a second. And that's how Hollywood does it. That's how it worked in film cameras pre-digital. Now it's programmed in to the FX6 and the FX9. The other great feature with the FX6 and the FX9 is your variable neutral density filters. Those you do not have on the 30 and the 3, but on the 30 and the 3, you do have internal image stabilization. So the sensor is fixed, not floating on the 6 and the 9. So if you want image stabilization, there is metadata from a gyroscope in the camera embedded on your footage, and then you can run it through Sony Catalyst Browse, and that will actually stabilize your footage. And it works really well. It's a little bit extra work in post, but it's extremely effective.
Hi, my name is Amy Koppmann with Sony Electronics. I am the Senior Training Manager for Digital Imaging, and we are here at B&H Depth of Field in New York, and you are looking at the newest lens in the Sony family of lenses. This is the 71st lens in our lineup. This is the 20-70 F4 G series lens. Beautiful, beautiful lens, perfectly designed for both video and stills. It has minimized focus breathing on it. A lot of things people like for both video and stills is the manual aperture ring right on here. So you can lock it into a position and you can control the aperture right on the body of the camera, or you can go ahead and click into position here. Now if you're saying, well, I shoot video, I don't necessarily want it to click, that's the beauty of this little switch right here. You can turn the click off so that if you are now shooting video, you have nice, smooth, seamless transitions between your steps and aperture. As I said, this lens was just announced at the end of January. It will be available right at the beginning of March for about $1,100 US or $1,500 Canadian. Of course. All right, so this is the brand new in our lineup Alpha 7R Mark V camera. So not only is it the ultimate in resolution for stills, but it also has some pretty cool video specs under its hood as well. It is now capable of full 8K video or 4K or HD, whatever. You have a multitude of options there. You have slow and quick video built in as well. And I know you can't see it here, but what I'm looking at right now in front of me, I've got an FX30, I've got an FX3, and I have an Alpha 7R Mark V, all shooting me from various angles right now. And why the awesome videographer decided to do that is because they all employ a color science called S-Cinetone. So you get you get easy matching, unmatched easy use of color matching between these three cameras here. So S-Cinetone is a Sony specific feature found in many of our alpha cameras as well as our professional and broadcast cameras to make your color matching very simple and very easy with a minimal amount of work in post-processing. This camera does have in-body stabilization. It is further improved from previous models, so we're about an 8 stops correction in stabilization here. So it allows you, if you're like me, to hand hold in a lot of different situations. I'm kind of lazy. I don't like to carry a tripod around with me, so my hand holding has significantly improved with the in-body image stabilization. We also have this unique tilting screen, so right now it's facing you. So if I was doing a selfie video recording, I would get that. But I can also go ahead and tilt it out from the back of the camera. So if you're doing more still work, you can angle it up or angle it down for a variety of shooting options. And you can simultaneously tilt it at the same time. So it is a fully articulating LCD screen on the back here. Bend it, flex it however you want, whatever you need to get the perfect shot. So that is the Alpha 7R Mark V. It was introduced in late October. It is the newest alpha camera in our lineup, and it is currently available for about $3,800 US.